I did not.
Why not?
Because I felt too out of control to see a therapist. I was going too crazy inside. I didn't think I could. I couldn't focus on any help because everything was going too crazy. It just I just couldn't control anything inside.
It seems like that a therapist might help with that. Why did you choose not to go see a therapist?
Because I felt that God had a plan for me for something, and also that therapy is just talking, and talking wasn't gonna do anything to cause the voices to go away, or what I was feeling inside that was causing me to feel out of control.
At the point that this happened, where you went to the hospital, had you talked to Joel yet about the voice that you were hearing from Eric Harris?
I was not.
Was Eric Harris still talking to you every day?
Yeah.
After you went to the hospital, did you stop drinking or continue to drink? What happened with your drinking?
I continued. I stopped for a few days, but then continued.
All right. And do you have a memory of how long between going to the hospital this time and talking to Joel? Do you know how long that was between them?
From that day to talking to my brother, I was probably a year.
So it was a long time.
Yeah.
What happened in the year between going to the hospital and talking to Joel in terms of the voices and the feeling about Satan and God?
Most of the days I was in between those times. I was hanging out with one of my best friends. Her name is Denise Treat, and I would hang out at her house for a while. She was always on my side, making sure I was okay, making sure I was not going to do anything concerning.
Did something unusual happen at Denise's house?
In the middle of that year, when I was drunk, I was sitting on the couch with Denise, and then a shadow looking shape of a pentagram was on her wall. And then about maybe a month afterwards, I saw the same thing when I was sober. I told her about it, and we were both concerned.
Did you think that had some sort of meaning?
To me, it was all about Satan had something to do with it. I'm going to hell because I'm sinning. It was all, the whole category and subject was about sin and the devil.
At some point, did you actually make it to detox?
Yes, I did.
And what motivated you to actually go to detox? After talking to my brother, and having the urge to get rid of the shakes, and also wanting to know
if everything would change if I was completely sober. Then I was slowly working my way by drinking while planning on going to detox, and then a few weeks later after planning, I finally got a hold of Providence Hospital, but they wouldn't take me because I was saying concerning things.
What were you saying?
I was telling them about the voices and I told her about the plans of hurting people that scared me, and they got concerned about that, so they wouldn't let me into the detox center.
What did they do?
They called the hospital. They called their security to take me to an emergency room.
Had you told them, you said you told them about your plans you told us that you had told them about your plans of hurting people and about the voices, and I want to go back to that for just a second. Did you tell them that who you were hearing talking to you?
Yes.
You told them about Eric Harris?
Yes.
Did you tell them what Eric Harris was telling you?
Yes.
That he was telling you to do a school shooting?
Yes.
Did you tell them, you said you told them about the plans, did you tell them about God and Satan's plan for you?
No, I had to keep that a secret.
Why did you have to keep that a secret?
Because it's the only way to do God's plan is to just do it. I couldn't talk about it because if people got concerned, they would, the whole plan would get disrupted, and I can't fail God. I can't fail God's plan.
So, Providence sent you to the emergency room. What happened at the emergency room?
They had someone evaluate me from one of their staff members who worked at a mental hospital and facility came over to the hospital and gave me an evaluation and strongly suggested that I see a therapist, but not a group therapist, just one private, just so I could talk to them all by myself and just go from there.
How long did they keep you in the emergency room?
Overnight again.
Did your family come?
My mom did, yes.
Were you released after the overnight?
Yes, they sent me home.
Did you follow up on the recommendation for the therapist?
I did. After I went to detox, I wanted to try to get into detox one more time before that.
Where did you try to get into detox?
I went into Evergreen Manor over in Everett, and they accepted me.
How long were you in detox?
I was in there for 7 days.
Do you remember when you went to detox?
That was probably late December or early January.
And how long, you already said, how long you were in detox, 7 days?
7 days.
Okay. While you were in detox, did you still hear Eric Harris's voice telling you to kill people?
No, because I was under medication.
What about right after you got out of detox? Did you still hear Eric Harris's voice?
From time to time, but not every day.
In your regular life, not talking about Eric Harris talking to you, not talking about God's plan, not talking about Satan, just in your regular life, before all of this, did you know that killing was against the law?
Yes.
And in your regular life, did you know that killing was morally wrong?
Yes.
After Eric Harris starts talking to you in your head, and after you start feeling that God has this plan for you and gives you to Satan, and that they have a plan together, each other's, did you think that killing was morally wrong?
No, because it's what God wanted me to do, or His plan for me.
Did you tell anyone about God's plan?
No, I couldn't. I had to keep it a secret in order to do it properly.
So at this point, you've told your brother about it, and you went to detox, and you're still having problems. What did you do?
I contacted a therapist named Samantha Good.
And did you start seeing her?
I did see her regularly.
And how long did you see her for?
It started off being once a week, and then when I about a year later, it turned out to be once every 2 weeks.
Did you tell her about Eric Harris talking to you?
Yes.
Did you tell her about God's plan?
Not God's plan.
Did you tell her about some other plan?
Well, I told her that I told her that a plan that could happen, but I didn't tell her it was God's plan. I did keep that a secret.
Okay, so did you tell her about school shootings?
Yes.
But you kept the part about God's involvement, Satan's involvement a secret?
Yes.
Why did you keep that a secret?
Because I didn't want her to get concerned where the plan would get disrupted or interfered by her being concerned.
Did you also start seeing a psychiatrist?
Yes.
Why did you start seeing a psychiatrist?
Me and Samantha both were wondering if medication could help at all, just to see if that will do anything to change anything.
What psychiatrist did you see?
First I saw Megan O'Neill for one day, and her office is in downtown Seattle. And
How did that go?
I thought it went fine, but I told her stuff that were a little too concerning, and she wanted me to be hospitalized. So I told her that that I was just trying to get medication. She said, well, what I told her was too concerning for just medication. So in order to proceed in seeing a psychiatrist, then I have to get evaluated from some other professionals from another mental facility, which I did. I saw two people who were from a mental hospital.
And was it your understanding that Dr. O'Neill thought you should be hospitalized?
I understood that she wanted me to be hospitalized.
Were you hospitalized?
I was not.
Did you want to be hospitalized?
No.
Why not?
I was feeling very pushed and paranoid about getting the plan done, because I had to do the plan because I couldn't let it get disrupted.
Would hospitalization have interfered with that?
Yeah, because I could lose my guns and other privileges.
When you say paranoid, what do you mean by that?
getting ready, get ready to getting too anxious about feeling that I'm gonna fail the plan because I was being pushed too much, and plus I was delaying too much time.
When you say pushed, who's pushing you?
Satan is pushing me to do the destruction because God told me to do it right away.
Did you go back to see Dr. O'Neill after that first visit?
Not Dr. O'Neill. I went to go see Dr. Heidi Iwanski. That's where Samantha Good referred me to.
And how long did you continue to see Dr. Owanski?
I started to see her regularly once a month.
Did either Samantha Good or Dr. Owanski tell you a diagnosis as to what they thought was going on with your mental state?
Yes, Heidi Iwanski told me I had obsessive compulsive disorder and transient psychosis.
What was your understanding of why you needed to keep seeing Dr. Owanski?
I thought it was helpful getting information about what was going on with me, and hopefully the medication would do some good, and if I tried that, see what any changes would happen.
Did the medication do any good?
It made me calm, and it made me feel funny. It felt like I wasn't doing anything, and also was, at the same time I was feeling God wants me to do this plan, so I had to keep doing it, and that's what was making me feel more funny.
Did you take every dose that you were prescribed the way that you were prescribed it?
No, I wasn't.
Did you fill every prescription?
No, I didn't.
Why didn't you take the medication as prescribed?
Because I didn't feel right, while I was feeling that God wanted me to get this plan done. It seemed like the medication was interfering with it, and it was just feeling really awkward.
Why didn't you just give up God's plan?
I can't give up God's plan. When God has a plan and tells us to do something, then we have to get it done, is what I know.
Is this God's plan or Satan's plan?
It's God's plan, but yeah, Satan controlling the destructiveness.
Did you tell Dr. Owanski about God's plan?
No.
Did you tell her about Eric Harris's voice?
Yes.
Did you talk with her about Columbine?
Yes.
At some point, did you start drinking again?
Yes, I did. I did drink from time to time because when I felt paranoid and pushed again to get my nerves to calm down, because I was really jumpy and I felt really pushed by God's plan.
You said that earlier. You said that you went to detox at the end of December, beginning of January 2012. December 2011, January 2012.
Mhm.
At some point in July, you got a DUI.
Yeah.
Between when you went to detox and then you started seeing counseling, and you got that DUI in July, when was it that you first started drinking?
I had started drinking from time to time. The first time I had a drink since then was about 5 months after detox.
Was there a time before you started drinking when you talked to Joel again about the voices?
No, it was just, that was up when he, no, that time was just before I went to detox.
Did you ever tell Joel about the voices when you were sober?
No.
After you got the DUI, there was a point when you started doing alcohol treatment.
Mm-hmm.
When did that start?
That was in December, about late December, mid or late December of 2012.
So there was a gap between when you got the DUI and when you started treatment?
Yes.
During that gap, in August of 2012, what happened with your treatment with Samantha Good?
She noticed that something serious was going on, and I got her concerned by being obsessed with mass shootings and destructiveness in the public.
What were you telling her about?
I was telling her about recent shootings that's been happening over the year, and also Columbine and Virginia Tech again. I even mentioned 9/11.
Were you talking about formulating a plan to do a shooting?
I wasn't talking about that, but I did say some things that got her concerned.
Was there some sort of trigger event that got you more obsessed or pushed regarding school shootings before this happened with Samantha?
Just a couple months before that, the Aurora Theater shooting happened, and that was I focused on that a lot during around that time.
Did that have any meaning to you?
Dad told me that I had to get my plan done because that person got their plan done. So I had to keep going.
Did you think that other school shootings and mass shootings like the Aurora Theater shooting were signs or symbols for you?
Yeah.
What were they signs
of? It was a sign for me to keep going and and it was also to push me into getting the plan done. And
What did you feel pushed by?
God was telling me that I was delaying too much time. These people got their plans done, and now I need to get mine done because I've been setting off the time back too much and too far.
When you were talking to Samantha Good in a way that was making her concerned, what was her reaction in terms of what did she do?
She wanted me to be hospitalized. That's what she was considering.
Did you know that when you were talking to Samantha Good in a manner that alarmed her, that was going to cause her to try to get you hospitalized?
Yes.
Did you want to be hospitalized?
No.
So then why did you tell her these things?
I was being pushed again and out of control. I think it was because of how much time I was taking up, or because I had to do new, or it was just a big. The Aurora Theater was just a big trigger that it just made me too jumpy for the plan.
So were you trying to stop yourself in some way?
Yes, I did. I did drink again. And in October 2012, I started drinking heavily again.
I want to go back for just a minute before
Okay.
we get to that. Were you hearing Eric Harris during the time that Samantha Good was getting alarmed about the things you were telling her?
Yeah, time to time, yeah.
What was Eric Harris telling you to do at this point?
That I had to get it done. I had to go to a university.
Did Eric Harris tell you like a specific university?
Oh, just certain ones.
So you said you started drinking heavily again in October.
Yes.
What was going on with your dad about this time?
He was drinking also.
So he was out of custody at this point?
Yeah, he was out of custody about somewhere in early 2012.
So this is towards the end of 2012.
Yeah.
Was there a point where your dad did something that scared you?
Yes. When I came home from, I believe, hanging out with one of my friends, I came home. I went upstairs because my dad, because I knew my dad was up there, and he handed me a knife with long cut around on his neck, and I was concerned that he was trying to cut himself, and I called my sister, and my sister called the cops, and he offered to go to the emergency room.
Where was your mom?
She was at my aunt's house.
Was she at your aunt's house just for the evening? Or
She was staying there for about a week.
So your mom had left this home?
Yeah.
In October of 2012, when you started to drink heavy again, did you have another incident with the police?
I was really drunk, and I was laying in the street. Someone drove by, called 911 because I was saying I was suicidal, and I don't remember saying other stuff because I was drunk.
Did you go to the hospital?
Yes.
When you started treatment in December, how much treatment were you doing? How often were you going?
For the recovery options,
Yeah.
I was going about 3 days a week for the first step, and then once a week for the second step, and then for the third step once a month.
And how long did you go to recovery options?
For a year.
And who paid for that?
My insurance paid part of it, and then I had to pay the rest, but not all of the bills were paid.
So, you started in December 2012 and went for about a year to December 2013?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
And during that time, you were seeing Dr. Law&Crime and Smith?
Yes.
And were you going to AA meetings?
Yes, I was.
How many AA meetings were you going to?
I had to go to 8 of them a week.
During the time that you went to Recovery Options Northwest, did you take your analysis to determine if you were staying sober?
I'm sorry.
Did you pee in a cup for them?
For the recovery options, for the one time I had to do that. Twice I had to do that. One time when I was signing the forms, another time, sometime during the middle of the whole class of the process.
Okay. Did you drink during the time you were going to Recovery Options?
No,
treatment?
no, I was sober all that time.
Did you drink all the way up until the time you started treatment in December?
I quit drinking. I had my last drink around probably early November, maybe.
So from early November to, well, did you start drinking again ever after early November 2012?
No, I don't think so.
Was there a point when you were cut off from insurance?
Yes, when I was turned 26.
When did you turn 26?
July 2013.
Why did you lose your insurance?
Because 26 is the age where people get cut off and apply for new insurance. No.
Excuse me, one. Would you stand just for a moment, stretch? Please be seated. All right, you may continue.
So, once your insurance got cut off, who was paying for your treatment for alcohol and drugs?
I paid for a couple of the bills that the late bills that the insurance had something to do with.
So the portion that you were responsible for?
Yes.
What about with Samantha Good?
The last part of the years, I did pay her with some checks, but also paid with cash.
Did you have a job in July of 2013?
Yes, I was working at LA Fitness over in the Shoreline area.
Let's just go through your work history real quick so we can get this straight. I know that was the first job that you ever had the one at the range?
Yep.
And Aaron, while I'm talking about that job, I want to ask you about your skills with the shotgun. Did you shoot competitively?
Yes, I have.
And when you were working at the range, were you required to assist other people with their weapons?
Yes.
Are you familiar with how a shotgun works?
Yes, I've taken many classes at the range and also got information from the members on how to handle certain kinds of shotgun firearms.
Were you ever trained on what to do with the shotgun misfires?
Yes.
What do you do when a shotgun misfires?
There was a pump action, well, mostly for all shotguns. What normally happens is when there's a misfire and hold the gun still to your with the stock to your shoulder, pointed down range, and to see if it will go off, and if nothing happens, then eject the shell, check the primer, and see if it's dented or not. And it's your choice whether you want to put a new one in or not. But if it's dented, then that means it's already been fired, so there's no reason to put it back in.
How do you eject the shell?
With the pump action, all you gotta do is grab the lever pump and pull it back, and then the shell just pops out. And brake action, there's a lever where you just push, and then it just cracks open and the shell ejects.
Do you ever have to pull the shell out?
Sometimes you do, but there's other guns that are made where the shell just ejects all by itself when it's broken all the way.
The gun that you used the day of the shooting,
Mm-hmm.
How did that one operate when misfire?
If there was a misfire, then the shell would just stay in there. That shell would stay in there, in the barrel, and then the empty shell would eject.
Have you had a misfire in that weapon before?
Yes, very few.
Have you cleared misfires for people on the range before?
Yes, I have.
Something that you're familiar with how to do?
Yes.
So I want to go back now to your work history.
Okay.
So you started at the range first. How old were you when you started at the range?
16.
So about 2003?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long did you work at the range?
Until September of 2011.
Why did you leave the range?
I had another job that I was supposed to start working at, but that didn't work out.
When did you get another job?
I put in my 2 weeks notice and around that time, and that was at Olive Garden, and that didn't go through. So I was trying to look for other jobs, and my friend helped me get a job at LA Fitness in March of 2013.
So was it close to 2 years that you were out of work?
Yeah,
And how long did you work at LA Fitness?
for about 6 or 7 months.
So when did you stop working there?
About mid or late October of 2013.
did you leave LA Fitness by choice, or did something happen to where you had to leave?
I got another job. It was full-time.
Where did you get another job
At the IMC warehouse in Kirkland, packaging car parts.
at? And how long did you work there?
Just 2 weeks. I wasn't going fast enough, so they let me go right away.
Did you have any gap between when you worked at LA Fitness and when you worked at IMC warehouse?
No.
So by sometime in November, you didn't have a job after getting laid off from IMC?
Yeah. I just started working for the Terra staffing agency working for daytime jobs until I found something that would be consistent.
How often were you working for Terra Staffing? Did they call you every day?
They called me quite a few times. I did get a job for about 2 months, two or 3 months over the holidays over at the Bellevue Mall.
What were you doing at the Bellevue Mall?
I was directing traffic around the Christmas holidays over in the parking lot.
And what about after that?
After that, I went to I signed up for a program that teaches you how to apply for jobs, and
Was that the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation?
yes,
Did you get a referral from your treatment?
yes I did.
Provider?
Yes I did.
Was that at Recovery Options, the
Ye-
alcohol counseling?
Yes.
So you started getting assistance from the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation?
Yes.
What did they help you with?
They were telling it was for the people with mental disabilities and who were trying to find work, and my counselor was helping me find. She was interviewing me, asking me what things do I need to work on or work around while I'm doing work, so she can help me out on that.
And were you able to get a job with the help of Division of Vocational Rehab?
Yes, my counselor's name was Orally Trier, and she helped me get a job at Fred Meyer in Lake City.
And when did you get hired at Fred Meyer in Lake City?
That was in, I was officially hired in May, about really late April to early May when I started the training.
Is that in 2013?
That was in 2014.
2014. Aaron, I'm gonna hand you what is part of Exhibit 178. Is your checkbook?
Yes, it is.
Is this written on your personal account?
Yes.
Did you write some checks to Samantha Good?
Yes, I did.
And are there copies of those in that checkbook?
Yes.
What date's the first check written to Samantha?
June 24th, 2013.
So that was that about a month month or so before you lost your insurance?
Yeah, about
What day's your actual birthday?
July 25th.
Okay. And, what's the next check you wrote to Samantha Good?
This one is July 19th.
So, at that point, did you still have insurance?
Yes.
And the next check you wrote to Samantha Good?
July 22nd.
And so you still had insurance?
Yes.
How much are those checks for?
$110.
So that's how much you were supposed to be paying?
Yes.
Is there a check to old Louise in there?
Yes.
What's the date of that check?
August 13th,
Of what year?
2013.
So were you still working at LA Fitness at August 13th, 2013?
Yes.
Were you still seeing Samantha Good?
Yes.
Were you still seeing Dr. Heidi Wonsky?
Yes.
Was there some point when you stopped seeing Samantha Good and Dr. Wonsky?
I don't remember exactly the correct dates, but it was around the beginning of 2014, maybe before that.
Was it after you lost your insurance?
Yes.
After you lost your job at LA Fitness?
Yes.
Why didn't you go see a therapist at a public clinic?
Uh, I like talking to Samantha. She knew a lot. She knew a lot about me. It was comfortable talking to her.
After you stopped seeing Samantha and Dr. Wonsky, you also finished up pretty close in time to that your alcohol treatment as well?
Yes, that ended in December 2013.
So you went from seeing 3 different providers to no one by the end of December 2013?
Yeah.
What was happening at that point with the plan and Eric Harris and God and the devil and shootings? What was going on with that?
Since then,
At that time when you stopped seeing the counselors, after you stopped seeing the counselors?
about shortly after, I started getting pushed more and more, and thinking about seeing Samantha again, but feeling inside me was telling me I had to get it done. But God was telling me no more delaying time. It has to get done sometime this year. And that was in 2014.
At what point in therapy you told one of your providers that the killers had gotten inside of you?
Yeah.
How did they get inside of you?
Like Satan or Lucifer just put their spirits inside me, inside my soul, and make me feel like I become them to pull it off.
Lucifer, do you see Lucifer as somebody different than Satan?
And hell, yes, he's the one that guards the gates.
And what does Satan
He's the one that's in charge of hell.
do? Do you remember talking to the police after the shooting?
Yes, I remember some things in our conversations.
Do you remember telling the police that you stopped going to seek treatment because of the insurance?
Yes,
Do you remember also telling them that you stopped going to treatment because you wanted to feel the hate?
yes.
What did you mean by that? Or which was it?
I felt that it was both, but the hate part, it felt it was like I was supposed to feel that a school shooter, normal school shooter should feel, and that the plan was still going on even though after I got caught.
Before the shooting, you took some actions to prepare for the shooting?
Yes.
Bought some ammo?
Mm-hmm.
And you visited the school?
Yes.
Where did you get the ideas for this? I did watch some Columbine videos of where the two shooters were planning on making their plan on where to go, and I'm plan ahead also with the Virginia Tech shooter. Why were you watching all these videos? For how to get it done right. When you were making these plans, you doing research to learn how to do it, did you know that it was wrong to do more of it?
Yes.
When you were doing the actual preparation, like going to the school and talking to the girls and getting the tour, did you feel that doing this plan to kill was wrong?
Yes, but during the tour, I didn't feel anything about the plan.
What do you mean?
I felt that, well, the plan was going to the school, but while I was getting the tour, I felt different, and I felt bad.
Why did you just stop?
Still had to be done. It's what God wanted me to do.
In the videos of you touring the school, we saw you acting like a normal student, looking reasonably happy. Were you trying to be deceptive?
I just had to. I just had to look casual and just. I couldn't be suspicious
Why?
because that could probably get their security to watch over me if I come back, and that will be too hard be too hard on God's plan.
Ms. Brandis, when there's a place to break,
Sure.
this is a good place, right? All right. We're going to take our afternoon break. We'll come back and continue with Mr. Ybarra. Mr. Ybarra. Please rise to the jury.